It is incredible to see the number of Snyderverse warriors out there still on Twitter, tweeting out, and fighting for this cause that was a win for the fans, and it really was. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment in the history of film, in the history of Hollywood, in the history of fandom. I mean, what a ridiculous situation! I couldn't believe it when I first heard about it. I thought there was no way that they would actually do it. And quite honestly, I was a huge fan of it. I loved Man of Steel. I loved all those things. It just, for me personally, this director's cut was horribly disappointing, to the level of me not really caring any longer. The reason being is simply that I know that they're not going to. Okay, forgive me. I don't know anything, but I predict that Hollywood, or that HBO, is going to play everything, particularly their pocketbooks, their dollar signs, close to the chest at this point. They're not going to feed the beast anymore. That's I could be completely wrong. I think so many of us were wrong when we for so long had thought there was no way the Snyder Cut was actually going to get made. So, and I think that HBO was probably a lot more optimistic, in hindsight. They were probably a lot more optimistic from the beginning, thinking that would generate them a lot of new subscribers. And evidently it just didn't, because they're not interested in making a sequel to a cliffhanger, as Zack Snyder has so fully described. He called it a cliffhanger. And so, for me personally, I don't know how that would. I don't know what would end up there. But this is from the Bounding to Comics thing here. It's the Flash movie has been this interesting, continuous, what fluctuating phenomenon online, right? You've seen, that's all we've seen. We've seen nothing but this constant fluctuating phenomenon of the Flash movie, and so many different directors named, so many different people named. And I guess so this is a new prediction that's come underway from who was it that made the prediction? It was Mike Sutton from Geekosity, Mike Sutton, whose sources tell him that Warner Brothers wants to uncouple or disconnect the Snyderverse from the DCEU, and that's the DCU. Okay, that's what it is. It's not the DCEU. I'm never going to call it that. I don't know why people. It's too much like Star Wars, the EU. That's what someone tried to attach it to. They tried to attach it to Star Wars. At least the Star Wars fans who think of the EU. Anyway, whatever. But so of course they're wanting to disconnect it because they want to rewrite things. J.J. Abrams wants to do Superman, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to do all new DC. I'm willing to get on board if they changed the Barry Allen character, changed the actor. I think that Ezra is I think he's a good actor. I don't think he's right for the Flash. For me personally, I just don't think he fits as a Barry Allen character. For me personally, I am too biased by the Justice League cartoons that I saw many years ago, and that has led me to feel more of what the Flash character is. The Flash is, and he was so underutilized in the Snyder Cut in general. I mean, there were several moments in that film where the Flash would have been able to just take the mother box a million miles away from the situation, and it would have been, there's just anyway, what are you going to do? There's a lot of flaws when you have superpowers. You're going to generate flaws because there are people who are going to, contest those situations and thinking that the character should have done this, should have done that, whatever. So Barry Allen's solo adventure could retcon or even erase the Snyderverse established by the continuity of the DC universe. Of course, they want to get rid of this immediately, because they want to go back to seeing if they can make money with this, and they're going to spend less money, which is a good option, honestly. Just spend less money, make more character-driven stories, single character-driven stories that could lead us into really loving the Justice League. In this latest prediction, the wants to uncouple or disconnect from the Snyderverse. Additionally, in order to make this change happen, Sutton's source reports that the studio will take inspiration from Flashpoint Paradox, the multiverse, and a dash of 1986's Chris on Infinite Earths. In Sutton's words, some worlds will perish, giving birth to a new DCU, with some heroes making the ultimate sacrifice along the way. In the original Crisis, Barry Allen and Supergirl who met such a fate, but Andy Muschetti's Flash may substitute Ben Affleck's Batman so that he takes one for the team, so Ben Affleck will die. And that's what they're saying here in this prediction. Affleck is rumored to be coming back, probably having little spots to kind of tease people. What did you think of the Suicide Squad trailer? I thought it was actually kind of fun. A lot of people bashed on it. Some people think it's very split down the middle. This whole thing is split down the middle. I thought it looks kind of fun. But again, it's like, I don't know. There's so much agenda driven in Hollywood these days that it's hard to trust anyone at this point. How can you trust anyone when you know what's on the horizon? We know that tanking everything is on the horizon. And so we're just merely trying to pick up the pieces as it's falling down under feet, right? Affleck is rumored to be coming back in the Cape Crusader small cameo in The Flash. And if that's really the case, it's hard to see his Bat's death being meaningful the way it was supposed to be in proposed Justice League 3. So yeah, absolutely. It's going to, no one's going to care. Regardless, he's a lingering issue for Warner Brothers as the studio wants to pass the torch to Robert Pattinson. And that whole thing, I don't really care about. Robert Pattinson Batman is, I could take or leave it, really. Let's see. Sutton states that they want Pattinson to be the only Batman in the movies, even though Michael Keaton could be coming on aboard The Flash. Keaton isn't meant to spend a long time in the cape and cowl. If he does appear, it's been rumored that he'll retire as Batman and stay on as the older Bruce Wayne to mentor new heroes. Batgirl and Terry McGinnis are rumored to be on that list. So anyway, what are your thoughts? I'm cynical yet slightly cautiously optimistic. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.